Who had the better career? Bret the Hitman Hart, speaking of Goldberg, sadly, or Kurt Angle?
I'd say Kurt, due to the fact that, excuse me,
Oh, I was about to say, whoa, Kurt, really?
I got them mixed because I'm still thinking. Anyways, I was gonna say Bret, due to the fact Bret, you can literally learn how to wrestle from Bret due to the fact he put athleticism and pretty much storytelling in pretty much first before anything else. Bret was never the biggest guy, but he was the guy you looked up to and that you wanted to aspire to do and be in wrestling. And my favorite things about him was he could virtually have a good match with damn near anybody. And I'm like, I love Kevin Nash. I love me some Kevin Nash, but it's like Kevin Nash don't got a lot of great matches, but one of his best matches ever happened in the ring with Bret Hart. And on top of that, Bret Hart as an athlete is dope, man. It's like you pay attention to him. Dude was nimble, he was quick, he was athletic. He was like, man, it's like the best way I can say it. It's kind of like, what if we had like a brawling Spider-Man? That's what Bret Hart kind of reminds me of, because he could do a lot of crazy stuff in there. And you can see his athleticism put to the max in matches in the WWE earlier when he's tagged up with his it was his brother or his cousin, Jim Nair?
I think that's his cousin, actually.
Yeah. And then you can see technical masterpieces happening with him when it comes to his brother Owen in WrestleMania. Yeah. And then on top of that, if you want to get deeper into the Bret Hart lore, there's a match on WCW. It's a Bret Hart versus Chris Benoit Owen Hart tribute match. Watch that match because it's really good for technical wrestling. And that's one of the things that I feel like with Kurt. Kurt is a dope entertainer, and on top of that, the thing about Kurt that I love about him is when he was Perk Angle, he could do anything and have a high energy, high intensity match, and there was nobody that could really quite do it like him, and that's what made him special. And on top of that, when he transitioned from the WWE to TNA, it was still a gold mine of matches that you got from Samoa Joe, you got with his stable, and then you got his matches with Sting. You got anything and everything you wanted from Kurt Angle when you got TNA, man. And that's the thing I like, because he put everything on the line, man. Perk Angle, that is.
Yeah.
Jumping from the top of the steel cage just to hit nobody sometimes. Perk Angle is the GOAT. That's the true GOAT right there. But then when you compare him, and I think the fact of the matter is like this. I believe that Bret Hart is the better wrestler and he had the better career due to the fact he can wrestle with anybody. And then on top of that, on a fundamental level, when you look at him wrestle, it's like, bro, you're gonna come out learning something and becoming better than what you were when it comes to like studying Bret Hart and seeing him do things. If anything, you know how we look at Mount Rushmore, like the wrestling Mount Rushmore, Bret Hart has to be on there.
Yeah, for sure.
He's pretty much like the guy for it doesn't matter what your body type is, as long as you can put on a good match, you're there and willing.
And then I just want to
tell me though.
I was gonna say this though. I think Jim Neidhart was his brother-in-law actually. I think it was his brother-in-law. But I was thinking about this pretty deep, and I'm gonna have to go Bret Hart though too. So I can't. This one ain't gonna be controversial. It's not gonna be I'll go Kurt Angle. I agree with you. I was watching a Bret Hart documentary recently, and I was just like, this man Bret Hart was on a whole nother level, man. Kurt Angle didn't reach that level to me. Kurt Angle was amazing, had an amazing career, Hall of Famer for sure, Olympic gold medalist, and then went into the WWE and took over as well. But Bret Hart, no, he was the guy. He was the guy.
Like when it came to Kurt, you got the best out of Kurt when somebody's willing to match him for energy, which was I feel like his best set of matches ever were his matches against Chris Benoit. And it's and then his matches teamed up with Chris Benoit against Edge and Rey Mysterio on SmackDown. Those, in my opinion, are some of Kurt's best matches ever, because these are guys that match him one for one. And then if you want to see a match where he's somebody's willing to go down and get dirty with him, boss, is Brock Lesnar. And it's like, dang, you got pretty much two very like, two very high energy, high impact wrestlers ready to go. And what's crazy about that WrestleMania when they both went up against each other, I think they were both injured and they still wrestled that match.
Yeah. I definitely. Yeah, I mean, I want us to continue this real quick, but we got to take one quick break, and then once we come back from the break, we're gonna continue a little bit more about the Bret Hart and Kurt Angle debate, or more of an agreement right now, because we definitely with Bret Hart for sure. And then we're gonna close out the show, but let us take a quick break. And we're back from the break, and we were talking about more so about the agreement about Bret Hart being having a better career than Kurt Angle. But we're just paying. I feel like this is almost going to just turn into us paying homage to Bret Hart. I just got a few things I want to say about Bret. Watching that documentary, I watched one that I believe the network A&E threw, and they've been throwing documentaries for like legends recently, and I recommend people to watch it. Bret Hart, basically, this man was at the top of the business. After Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart was the guy. And then, of course, the Attitude Era, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, all of them. But Bret Hart was the guy for a while, man. And I can't say in this debate with Kurt Angle, I can't say he was the guy. He's been at the top for sure, but was he really the person running the company like that, like the main attraction? I can't say that.
For Bret, it was the issue was Vince wanted to pretty much put his faith into Bret, but he wanted to stick with his guns and go with the money. And the issue was one of the WrestleManias, Yokozuna beat Bret, and then out of nowhere, what's it called? Hulk Hogan just shows up and wins. And it's like, what? Hogan? And it was at that moment, it was all like Vince pretty much backstabbed Bret again, because Bret had did a very, 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 very good job of trying to put athleticism first, but in putting it out in the ring versus characters and bodybuilding. And this was right after the steroid scandal, so it was just like, come on, man, how can you do this to Bret? How? And then what hurts even more that Hogan didn't even return the favor.
Oh, man.
There was supposed to be a SummerSlam match between Hogan and Bret, and it never happened.
Bret has been dogged. I ain't gonna lie. Bret's been dogged. It's kind of tough, man, because Bret Hart was that man. He deserved a lot better, man. He was at the top. He gave everything he could to Vince. But of course, it's business. So, I mean, it's two sides. We can do a whole podcast about the Montreal screw job, and we can give multiple, sides to all of that. But Bret Hart, man, at the end of the day, I just want to pay homage to Bret. That man is a legend. You can almost watch all of his matches and study it if you're an upcoming wrestler, or if you just want to see entertainment or just technical great wrestling. It's all Bret Hart, man. That's all Bret Hart. And then not only that, his character was amazing though. Like, he had people wanting to wear pink shades. Come on now. He had people wanting to wear pink shades. And then everybody says this quote. You can hear this in rap. You can hear this everywhere. The best there is, the best there was, and the best that'll ever will be. That's Bret Hart. Bret Hart came up with that, man. Like, this dude deserves his props. He was at the top of the business. He helped transition almost the business from being like Hulk Hogan was being the top guy, and then it went to Bret, then it went to Shawn, then it went to Austin. Like, Bret Hart was involved in all of that. Bret helped make Stone Cold. Like, come on now. He helped make Shawn Michaels. So we gotta give Bret his props.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's crazy. But the thing about it is, I wish that the WWE capitalized harder on Bret, but it's the issue is just like when he went to WCW, it was just more or less the same, and they didn't utilize him until I forgot the dude's name, but everybody hates him. But he was the only one to utilize Bret properly, or use him right in WCW. And it's weird that how we never got we didn't get like a Bret Hart showcase. If this was me, Bret would have just in WCW, he would have just been like All right, I'm here to expose people who can't really wrestle well. First on my list is Hogan. Then after that, cuts to Jericho in what's it called? It cuts to Jericho and Benoit talking that mess, trying to let them know, no, they're way better technical wrestlers than them. He could have had a trio rivalry going on about these guys trying to show off who's the better wrestler. Could have been that, but we didn't get it.
Yeah, we didn't get a good send off with Bret.
For some reason. God dang it.
Yeah, we didn't get a good send off with Bret Hart, but hopefully Bret can understand, man. Hopefully one day we can get an interview with Bret Hart. We can pay him homage in person or just through the podcast, however we can do it.
Maybe next week we should do like a Dream Match Mario Bret Hart farewell tour, and like we can pick like a bunch of dream matches that we'd like to see Bret Hart in.
Yeah, we could talk about the Montreal Screwjob too, because that's controversial too. Like that's a lot with that.
Part of me almost wants to say the Montreal Screwjob is almost a fix. Like Bret and Vince were in on it.
Oh, that would be that's an interesting take. I don't believe that though, because Bret,
because like let's think of it,
put his hands
Vince
on
couldn't
him.
properly afford Bret, right? And Vince is all like, hey, in your best bet, you might as well go to WCW because they're gonna give you money and you get more freedom.
Hey, but Bret didn't get the good end of that deal though, because it didn't end so well with Bret. Bret could have had a lot more great matches in the WWE, and then it just didn't end well. It didn't end well. Man, dang, I wonder why we never even seen Bret Hart versus Sting. They both was in WCW. I'm like, that would have been a iconic match to me.
I think Bret Hart, no, I think it did happen. It was Sharpshooter versus Sharpshooter, and it was a pretty whack match.
I'm like, well, if that match happened and I don't know about it, then it must have been whack. Because I'm like, wait a second, Bret Hart and Sting? That just sounds like an iconic match to me. But I'm like, dang, I guess, hey, not everything's meant to be. Everything meant to be. But
Scorpion Deathlock versus the Sharpshooter. It was pretty whack.
Yeah. But shout out to Kurt Angle, Hall of Famer too, Olympic gold medalist.
Kurt Angle, the god.
Man, I just wish he had a better send-off as well. I just wish he had a better send-off.
The way I look at it, Kurt can probably still hop in the ring and do what he needs to do.
He needs one more match, because that Baron Corbin, Kurt Angle, like that was never supposed to happen. Come on now. We know. Come on, WWE. Stop playing with me. That's why this talent don't want to go there right now. Look at that. Look how you treat Kurt. You going to end off Kurt with Baron Corbin? Like, come on, bro. Come on.
At least he was able to do it at WrestleMania. And not like on a random Raw.
I'd rather seen Kurt last match been the Ronda Rousey Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie. That match was actually pretty dope, especially on that card. That was probably the best match on that WrestleMania card.
I would have loved it to be like either Kurt versus John Cena or Kurt versus like an NXT wrestler like Matt Riddle. Him, and like let that been the match to be the thing you send off on. Instead, you gave it to Baron Trash.
I would have preferred any other person. Person.
I'm just trying to figure out why Baron of all people. Man.
I would have the perfect ending to me would have been him versus Brock Lesnar. That would have been the perfect ending.
Not John? Brock?
Or John Cena too. Like he could have went on a farewell. He went on a farewell tour, but he didn't face nobody that was like, oh my gosh. Like he should have faced John Cena. He should have faced Triple H. He should have faced Brock Lesnar. Now, it's a toss-up. John Cena or Brock Lesnar, I would go with either one at WrestleMania. Like, I would have went with either one.
It's crazy because at least they're treating Edge with a lot more respect. At least Edge is doing stuff.
Oh yeah.
At least Edge is around a lot more than Goldberg. So it's just like, yeah, and they're treating Edge with a lot more care and love than they did with Kurt. But then again, no, Kurt was the GM, so hey, that was dope.
But yeah, let us know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. Who do y'all say had the better career, Bret Hart or Kurt Angle? Both are Hall of Famers, but we're both going with Bret Hart. But we have hit every topic for this week. I just want to point this out too real quick. I heard that not speaking of Kurt Angle, that the WWE is making a huge signing. They just recently signed the Olympic wrestler. I'm trying to pull up his name. Let me get his name real quick so I can pay him homage the correct way. Because Kurt Angle was Olympic gold medalist and got signed by the WWE. And recently WWE just signed, the brother name is Gable Stevenson. He just signed with the WWE and he's an Olympic wrestler too. So shout out to Gable Stevenson. We hope to see some dope stuff from you in the future. I already know you can wrestle. So we gonna see if you can translate that into pro wrestling with your character development, all that type of stuff. So we expect some big things from Gable Stevenson.
The shot in the arm
we need a whole lot with the WWE. But before we go, you got any words for the people?
Hey, the best thing I can say is, hey man, don't be afraid to open up your mind and try something new, and go out there and get that experience you want. Because you only get one life, man. You only get one, so you might as well do everything in your power, or possibly in these endless possibilities, to achieve everything, or do whatever you want, man. Or go help someone else do what they want. Life is too precious, man. Make it happen.
Exactly. And I say the same type thing. Make sure y'all take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, your physical health. Work on yourself, reach after the goals that you're trying to go after. Practice unity, because at the end of the day, if you really want to reach some type of goals, you're gonna have to be united. It takes an army, it takes a village, it takes more than just yourself. But go after it. Stay healthy. Still viruses going around, so make sure you still stay protected and all that type of stuff. But this is the People's Podcast, hosted by the Wrestling Republic. For any more wrestling news, rumors, debates, and opinions, make sure you go check out WrestlingRepublic.com, along as follow their Instagram page at Wrestling Republic. But yeah, we are the People's Podcast. Tune in each week, man, and we'll see you guys next week. We out.